In the antebellum period, the issue of slavery became physically violent through the Bleeding Kansas incident. Bleeding Kansas started when then Senator Stephen Douglas from Illinois wanted to build a railroad, a transcontinental railroad, through the Kansas-Nebraska territories. But no railroads were willing to take on that risk if that territory wouldn't eventually become states. So he pushed the issue. The northern part of the Missouri Compromise was the generally last to become states. So the Kansas-Nebraska Act was going to try to get more people to settle in there so that it would become a state more quickly. The proposal by Douglas was to open the territory above the 3630 line to popular sovereignty, meaning that in that territory that had been set aside for free soil, there would be the possibility of slavery coming in by popular vote. The issue becomes very contentious, and the issue passes. It overturns the Missouri Compromise. So by 1820, the Missouri Compromise has been overturned. Specifically in legislation, it negates the compromise. And now, as settlers move in and these territories want to apply for statehood, they can have a vote that would then lead to free soil or slavery in that territory that had been set aside as free soil. What ends up happening is a bunch of border ruffians from Missouri. Missouri was a slave state. They jump the border. They go to Kansas. They vote. They make Kansas a slave state when the people there actually wanted to be a free soil state. There's a whole series of political events that we don't really need to know. But what ends up happening is that Kansas becomes sort of a small-scale civil war. John Brown, we mentioned, helped to initiate this in some part with the Potawatomi Creek Massacre. But there is a back and forth, a guerrilla war between the pro-slavery settlers and the anti-slave settlers. This becomes sort of a preview of what's going to happen in the Civil War. But what comes out of this is the emergence of a new political party known as the Republicans.